2 days ago, the NFL schedules were released, and we talked about it yesterday. I gave my prediction on how many games I think the Packers will win and went through game by game. But now I want to react to this article written by Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated and see what these other sports media sites are predicting for the Packers and give my overall takeaway. So here it is from Bill Huber. I'll leave the article link below. Experts predict Packers' final record from 8 wins to 13. Here's what the experts are forecasting for the Green Bay Packers in the 2024 NFL season. So we'll start off. Sports Illustrated. Gilberto Manzano has the Packers regressing from 9-8 in 2023 to 8-9 in 2024. I don't see regression coming. I do not see that happening. I just don't see how the Packers could go from 9-8 last year with all the additions they made here on defense, with Jordan Love coming into his second season, all these young players. I don't see how we regress. I disagree with this one. It says here, for Green Bay to return to the postseason, it's going to need the offensive line to step up, and for running back Josh Jacobs to quickly find a rhythm with his new team. He wrote, the Packers could be a surprise team to miss the postseason if the NFC North turns out to be one of the better divisions. I think the offensive line was very solid last year. At times, the run blocking wasn't great, but I feel like it got better down the stretch. The Packers had one of the best pass blocking lines in the NFL, and the only really big change is going to be, right guard. And we may see a change at left tackle with potentially first-rounder Jordan Morgan coming in there for Rasheed Walker if he beats him out. But this Packers offensive line pretty much the same as last year outside of right guard with Runyon gone, and Sean Ryan was playing a lot there anyway. So I don't see the Packers offensive line, being any kind of worry in my mind. So I disagree with that one. Now, NFL.com. NFL Network analytics expert Cynthia Freeland has the Packers checking in with 9.8 wins. 0.8, interesting. Which will be good enough for a playoff berth. According to my models, drafting versatile blocker Jordan Morgan added more wins than any other selection could have when Green Bay came on the clock for the first time at pick number 25, she wrote. The talented offensive lineman will further bolster an aerial attack that already saw Jordan Love throw 32 touchdown passes in his first season as a starter and help improve ground opportunities for a group that ranked third worst in rushing yards over expected against stacked boxes last season. So that is an interesting stat there. When you look at the Packers last season, the Packers won 9 games. And there were a few of those games that were very close. Games where I feel like the team the Packers are now games that will win now with the experience that Jordan Love has. And sure, we lost in the 49ers game when it was a close one. But I really don't see the Packers, barely surpassing last season by only 1 win. I do see them being much better. If you watch my video yesterday, I am predicting the Packers going 14-3. In my mind, I sort of see them as a 12-win to 14-win team, one of those top-tier teams, no longer a, wild card type team. I think they're going to be better than that. And so I could see 12 to 14 wins. I decided to go with the high end because, I think last year I had them going, I think I predicted 10-7. They ended up going 9-8. And I think that we're going to see another massive step forward for the Packers. And so I really don't think it'd be crazy, 10 weeks in, if the Packers would be sitting at 8-2 potentially. I really, that's my take on this team. But anyways, 33rd team, Marcus Mosher has the Packers going 10-7 after falling just short against the Niners in the last year's divisional playoffs. The Packers are one of the league's youngest teams, and Love should only be better in his second full season as a starter. Expect this team to compete with the Lions for the NFC North Division title, he wrote. In this prediction, the Lions went 11-6. Mosher had them as one of the big offseason winners after keeping Ben Johnson as offensive coordinator. So 10-7, that would still be fine, but I think the Packers are better than 10-7. Bleacher Report. Maurice Moton also has the Packers at 10-7. After a strong showing in 2023, Love will likely continue to develop into a high-end starter, he wrote. If the Packers' defense, which is loaded with recent first-round picks, plays up to its potential under new defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, this team should win 10 or more games. I tend to agree with that. If defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley lives up to his potential, I think this is a 13-14 win team because this offense, down the stretch, was one of the best in the NFL. And if Jeff Hafley makes this defense, moving them from average to top tier, this is a, 12, 13, 14 win team, I think. Fox Sports. So long as Love continues his rise and Hafley can find some answers on defense, the Packers and Lions will finish atop the division with 11-6. All right. I think that's the highest so far. This division race is too close to call this far out. But considering the amount of success Green Bay had last season with their first-year starting quarterback and the youngest team in the league, I have to think the Packers are just getting started. Okay, I like that one. Pro Football Network, Dakota Randall broke up the schedule into segments. He has the Packers starting 4-0 en route to a 12-5 finish, which was a game behind the Lions in the NFC North and good for the 5th seed. 12-5, I think that's a solid prediction. As I said, I think 12 to 14 wins in my mind is like the sweet spot. And in my prediction, I said 14 because that's what I think. The Athletic, as part of a lengthy schedule analysis, Packers beat writer Matt Schneidman is predicting a 12-5 record and first place finish in the NFC North. Maybe a 3-win jump is too steep, but I'm putting a lot of stock in Green Bay's offense entering year 2 with Love at the helm. Schneidman wrote, the Packers return all of his primary wide receivers and tight ends from a prolific second half of the 2023 season and still have a proven feature running back in Jacobs despite losing Jones. And that's why I think last year, looking at the Packers trying to predict their season, it was sort of a difficult job just because we didn't know how good Jordan Love would be. And at one point in the season, it was like, oh, wow, maybe this team is going to be, a 6-win team. But they clearly turned it around down the stretch. And I sort of feel like people are underrating the Packers slightly. And that might sound crazy right now. But considering the way this team finished off and how good they were and how elite this offense was, I do think this is a 1 or 2 seed. That's my thought. Now, if the defense stinks, if Jeff Hafley comes in and this defense stinks, then I'm going to be completely wrong. But I'm banking on the Packers offense being just as good as they were down the stretch last year, which I think is a top 5 offense. And my thoughts are that Jeff Hafley should take this defense to, I do think they'll be slightly better. It's going to be a different defense. We'll have to wait and see. But just the way he talks, the way that this offense should be, or defense should be more aggressive, I just feel like we're going to see more turnovers forced, which is going to give the ball to Jordan Love more, which will mean more points, which will mean more wins. So I'm going with 14 wins. That's my thought. But let me know your takeaway on all these different predictions from these different sites. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time.